everybody, we're back. You know, my next guest is a political consultant and co-host of CNN's Crossfire. He's also authored numerous books, including his latest, Had Enough? A Handbook for Fighting Back. Please welcome the Raging Cajun, James Carville. Man, there is so much to talk about. There is a lot to talk about. Let's start with this whole gay marriage controversy. President Bush now proposing a ban or an amendment, constitutional amendment, to basically stop gay marriage. What do you think's happening? Has he done this just to appeal to that?
Well, I think he'll take it one step further. Because, you know, he wants to send people to Mars.
Yes.
I think we ought to ban gays in outer space. I think we ought to, just traditionally, outer space has been the province of heterosexuals.
Yes.
So we really want gay folks in outer space.
Right, right.
Because that would violate, you know, everything. Jerry Falwell might take offense at that, or Pat Robinson.
But you've worked behind the scenes in politics, and he has to keep this conservative wing of the Republican Party happy. He's got to keep Jerry Falwell happy.
That's right. And if you agree with Jerry Falwell, vote for Bush. If you think Jerry Falwell, you know, I said about Jerry Falwell in one of my books, I said I wouldn't urinate down his throat if his heart was on fire. But the point is, if you want,
in all fairness, James, that wouldn't be the best way to solve that problem. I just have him, you know, hand him a cup of water. Look, you went right to urine.
Right, that's it. I wouldn't, you know. Again, look. I don't like him. He knows I don't like him. But
I think he knows now, by the way.
Yeah. But what bothers me, why does Jerry Falwell have the President of the United States on a short leash? I don't want a president that is beholden to Jerry Falwell. And I don't think America does. I don't think that's what people want. And that's the point. Yes, of course. I mean, Bush, does he really believe this? Well, in 2000, February 15th in 2000, on the Larry King Show, he said it was up to the states to decide that.
Right.
What's happened is that they've got the deficits out of control. They got no WMDs or whatever. We're bogged down in Iraq. These interest groups are overrunning the government. And so what they got to do is, let's see, gee, let's get the gays. Let's run against them. So they got Falwell and Robinson calling there. And everybody sees through this thing. Senator Hatch, who's the Republican chairman of the Judiciary Committee, not crazy about this idea. I'm told that Congressman Sensenbrenner is the head of the House Judiciary. I mean, these Republicans, even like Tom DeLay is cool on it, because
when Tom DeLay is cool on something, that's kind of
he ain't cool on much. He ain't a very cool guy,
But he was like, marry away, you gays. I think that was his quote. I think he said, marry away, you gays.
I think we got to think about, do we want gays in Mars, or outer space? I mean, do we need to protect...
You're back to that idea again, and I don't think we're ready for that yet.
You don't think we're ready for that?
No, not for gays in outer space.
All right, well,
I'm not going to go with you on that.
Okay, I'm willing to compromise that. Maybe just in the stratosphere.
Stratosphere, but not on Mars.
All right, you taught me into it, Conan.
Let's talk about the Democrats.
Oh, okay.
Is it impossible for Kerry to lose this nomination now?
Well, I think it's, he could if he got caught with a live boy, a dead girl. Now, that's possible if you're a Democrat, you know, but...
Live boy or dead girl.
That was a...
You have such quaint and colorful expressions, James.
Hey, look, I mean, I
understand, yeah.
You know, and what do you want me to just come on here and say? In my opinion, after a thorough analysis of the polling from around the United States, I have concluded that Senator Kerry is the favorite to win the Democratic nomination. Now, however far be it for me to end up, but no,
I like the whole pissing down the throat and putting out the fire,
Yeah, why not?
So what's your prediction for November? And I don't want to hear what you want to happen. What do you really think is going to happen in November? Let's say Kerry is the nominee. Yeah, what's going to happen?
You know, I mean, it's an old expression. It's not original, but he who looks in crystal balls eats glass. So I'll go ahead and eat glass. Yeah, I think Democrats got a pretty good year.
Really?
Yeah, I do. I mean, if you look
You've got to admit the incumbent has the advantage. It's a, wartime president. You know, the economy isn't great, but is it that
President
bad?
Carter, you know, President Bush 41, how big of an advantage the incumbency was. Look, we're the country... Right now, according to most of the national polls I see, Senator Kerry or even Senator Edwards, who, by the way, is stunning candidate.
You said that you think he's better stump speaker than Clinton, than Bill Clinton.
I don't think he's a better candidate, but I think he's a better stump speaker. I think his stump speech is absolutely brilliant.
Is he the best stump speaker you ever saw?
I've ever seen. Yes. I mean, I've heard of some before him, but I actually didn't see him.
Right.
But both he and Senator Kerry are right now. And it doesn't mean anything. Again, it will tighten. But you know, I think the country is going to say, do we want to continue down the path that these guys are leading us, or do we want something different? And I think people want, at least Mike, going around the country, I think people are really looking for some different kind of leadership. They're looking for a different kind of America than Bush, Cheney, Falwell are supplying us with.
Now, who can say? You have in your book, Had Enough. You have in your book
right here. If you want to know how to fight back, this is it.
Yeah, and look how fat my head is. By the way,
look at that.
Oh my God, yours is huge. Good Lord, what a melon. You have advice in here for how to aggravate Republicans. What's a typical piece of advice you give people if they just want to aggravate Republicans?
Well, what I say is, if you see somebody that has a Bush, Cheney, Falwell stick on their car, you just say, excuse me, while you're away, somebody put that stick on your car. You know?
Right, act like you're the victim of a practical joke. Have you done that to anybody?
My wife generally doesn't allow, you know, she's a big Republican, so I have to be a little bit careful there. But you would say to somebody who is a Republican, gee, what should I vote for, the deficit or the lies? I'm confused.
Right, right.
I mean, which one am I supposed to like better?
Right, right.
You know, you can do that. Some of them, the big, not ordinary average people, but some of them deserve, you know, it's nothing wrong with aggravating, say, a Jerry Falwell or a Rush Limbaugh, but you know what I mean, or some of these guys, they need to be aggravated.
Right, it's good for them. Gets the circulation going.
People aggravate me all the time. You know,
aerobically fit.
They tell me. Yeah, that don't bother me.
You are, I'm guessing, not happy with Ralph Nader, who's thrown his hat into the ring. Ralph Nader's going to run now. What's your take on him?
Well, he's a bitter old egomaniac. Other than that, I like him a lot. No, Ralph Nader in the 20th century was one of the is a truly great American. He accomplished a lot of things. And
his whole consumer rights advocacy, brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. And apparently, when the new century came, he went nuts. And I think his friends need to do an intervention on him. You know, like I'm serious, and he needs to go into ego detox. That's my suggestion.
He denies that he had anything to do with Bush winning in 2000, but it's been proven that the margin of voting distance...
Clinton denied he had anything to do with Monica Lewinsky, too. I mean, what the hell does that mean? Of course he had something to do with Bush losing... Bush didn't win, but Bush losing close.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Am I still good what?
Are you still good friends with Bill Clinton?
Absolutely. I think he's a great man. I love him.
So does he love it when you come on talk shows and go, yeah, and he didn't have anything to do with Monica?
No, I mean, I don't think he... I mean, I don't know.
Can I send him a tape of this and see what he thinks?
Go ahead.
All right, okay.
I mean, but I'm just saying...
Just trying to aggravate you a little bit, get the blood going.
The idea that Ralph Nader did not cause Bush to lose by 500,000 votes is crazy. If Ralph Nader would have been, Nader lost by 5 million votes.
Right.
I mean, you know, remember Bush didn't win the election. I continue to like to remind people of that fact.
I bet you do. You're going door to door, ringing bells for people.
Exactly.
There are also recipes in this book.
Yes, sir.
So, have you ever thought about having a show where you cook and give your political theories?
Absolutely. What I'd like to do one day as I get older, I'll be 60 this year, is do like most people, when they have a conversation, they don't sit like behind a desk and on the sofa. Most people have a conversation over dinner. They cook or something. I'd love to have a show where I have guests on, kind of cook something, have a glass of wine, and talk about things the way that normal people, or at least I always have in Louisiana, French people, we meals are a social event. That's where you have discussions. That's where you have debates. That's where you know, throw
The only
stuff
problem
at
would you'd have to clean up your language a little bit if you're eating at the same time.
Well,
you know?
just spit it out, man.
You're sitting there having soup, and you're like, I wouldn't piss in his toilet if he kissed me on the ass. And you'd be like, whoa! Yeah!
You know, I've been talking the way I've been talking all my life, and
it's working for you.
No sense in changing.
No, don't change.
Yeah.
The book is Had Enough, A Handbook for Fighting Back. Mr. James Carville, thank you for being here.
Well,
Van Hunt coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Hey, that was great. Everybody, we're back. Fine show tonight. Fine show coming up tomorrow night. Barbara Walters is going to be here. The star of the show, Oliver Bean, 12-year-old actor Grant Rossenmeyer is going to be here, and musical guest Grant Lee Phillips. So watch that show. Why not? Take a break and we'll come back. Van Hunt here going to perform Go Baby, Go Baby, Go Baby, Go.